Okay, let's start further again. If in the decision table, you can see if I didn't make advance payment and I didn't make a shopping of more than 5,000, and I am not a frequent. Yes, I'm a frequent customer. Yes, why is there? I'm a frequent customer. Still, I get 0% discount because my shopping is less than 5,000. And if I didn't make a advance payment, I also did the shopping of less than 5,000. I'm also not a frequent customer, and you can see still I get the 0% discount. So with this decision table, you can see on the multiple conditions, we can easily check the output. So we can easily check the output and check which condition is being satisfied, and we can easily check which action is being taken. Does that action that is being taken is as per the terms and condition of the company, or it is not as per terms and condition of the company? So we can easily test that either something is wrong in our application or our application giving the correct output. So this is what the decision table is. So automation testing is test automation is software technique testing technique that performed with the help of special automated testing software tools to execute test cases. Manual testing is performed by human sitting in front of computer carefully executing the step. If the human is performing testing, then the human has to test very carefully, checking all the instructions and output. Whereas if we go for the test automation is the best way to increase effectiveness. Definitely, if artificial intelligence is performing the testing, it will increase efficiency and test cases as well as the speed of the testing. The automation testing software can also enter test data into system under test, compare expected and actual results, and generate detailed test report. So whenever we go for the automation testing, the testing uh, test the data under various conditions and compare their result with the expected result and actual results. And on the basis of that, the artificial intelligence will design a report and represent the report. Using test automation tool, it's possible to record all test suits and replay it as required. So if the artificial intelligence perform the testing, then it will perform the test cases, and that cases can be repeated any number of times. One test suite is automated, no human intervention is required. So if we start performing the test, artificial test, intelligent testing, then no human intervention or interruption will be required in the testing. What are the importance of it? To overcome the time and money consumption of manual testing, if we perform the artificial intelligence, so we will overcome the time required by the testing, as manual testing will take much more time, and money consumption by the manual testing, as manual testing can mistake many number of times. More mistakes are being done, more testing will be done, more testing will be done, definitely more money has to be spent. It is difficult to test and multilingual site manually. So if we have test the multiple languages application, then it's difficult for the human to test, whereas the artificial intelligence can easily make testing whether it is multilingual or not. Test automation is software testing, does not require human intervention. Again, no human intervention should be required whenever the artificial intelligence is performing the testing. You can run automated tests unattended or overnight. You can start artificial intelligence late night, go to bed, sleep. When you wake up early in the morning, you will get the report of the testing. As software will definitely go for testing whole night, as computer does not sleep, software does not sleep, whereas human has to sleep. So if the software does not sleep, computer does not sleep, definitely it will work whole night and prepare the report. And when now you wake up in the morning, you get the report of the testing. The automation increase the speed of test execution, definitely. Uh, Automation helped increase test coverage, so we can perform more test cases. If we perform more test cases, test coverage definitely increases. Manual testing can become boring and hence error prone. If the humans start testing, is the human will be active in the first half an hour, first 1 hour, 2 hour. But if the human is performing same action for long hours, the human get bored and start giving the wrong result. Whereas artificial intelligence, any number of hours, it will work on same concept. It will give the accurate result and then get bored for the work it is being done. So test automation process. So test tool selection. Select the tool that you have to use for the testing. Test tool selection largely depend upon technology the application under test is built. Then define scope of automation. Scope of automation depends upon features of project, data, function, technical feasibility. Sorry. So define scope of automation. So scope of automation depends upon features of what project we are doing on, how to work on, the data being used, what functions we are going to are being performed in it, and technical feasibility and various test cases. Next is the planning, design, and development. So we have to go for the proper planning. Whenever we have to start the automation, all the framework should be designed earlier for starting of the automation testing, and all test case complexity should be earlier. You have to be knowledge of so that you can easily select whether we go for the manual or we go for the automation. Test execution. Once the automation script is executed using automation tools, it will provide detailed test reports. This is how what process is being used in the test automation. Types of automation testing: unit testing, integration testing, regression, and blackboard testing. So in the automation tool will perform with the unit testing, test all each and every line of code individually. Integration testing, test all the functions, then integrate all the functions together. And after integrating all the functions together, I will check whether it will giving the correct output. Regression testing and blackboard testing. So this is unit testing is smallest testable part of application. The program the unit means a single module or single line of code is tested. The unit testing individual unit component of software are tested. The unit is the smallest testable part of the software. So we go for the unit testing process method. We have to perform the whiteboard testing. Whenever we testing this each and every module on each and every line of code, definitely we are going for the whiteboard testing. Unit testing is the first level of software testing and is performed prior to integration testing. So first of all, we go for the unit testing, and if the unit testing is successful, then we go for the integration testings. Because in the unit testing, we test all the line of code and all the modules. So what task we have to perform? We have to make a plan. We have designed the test cases. Then we start performing the unit testing. Integration testing is a level of software testing where individual units are combined and tested in a group. So unit means all the modules are combined, and we'll check whether they are there is correct interface among the modules and giving us the correct output. Purpose of integration testing is to expose faults in the interaction between the integrated units. So we check whether the modules are interacting correctly or not. So what task we have to perform? Integrate test plans, prepare, review, and rework on the plan. Integration test cases, design the test cases, and after plan and cases, then we perform the integration testing. So these are the approaches: big bang, top down, and bottom approaches that are being used in the integration testing. Regression testing is what whenever a change in software application is made, it is quite possible that other area within the application have been affected by the changes. So whenever we make some changes in one particular module, Then other module that are being uh, integrated with that particular module has to make some changes over there also. It means whenever a change in software application is made, it is quite possible that other areas within the application will also get affected. So regression testing is performed to verify that a fixed bug hasn't resulted in another functionality and business violations. The intent of regression testing is to ensure that a change such as bug fix should not result in another fault being uncovered in the application. If we fix the bugs in one module, then we have to check other modules also. Does that fixing of one module affect the other modules, or other modules are not affected if we fix the bug of the one particular module? So that is the regression testing. So is important because the following reason: minimize the gap between in testing, testing the new changes to verify that changes where did not affect any other area, reduce risk factor, and the coverage is increased without compromising the timeline. So various tools that are being used for automation testing are, these are some of the tools that are being used for automation testing or currently being used in the IT industry. So this is all about the today's lecture, in which we did the blackboard testing and the various automation testing techniques. I hope you understand the today's lecture, and